All right, let's start the session. So HQ dashboard or partner dashboard. So what is it about and what's its uses? So this section is divided into, this whole webinar is divided into 3 different sections, where in first section, I will give you a little bit information about what is it, how you can use it, a little bit of theory. In the second section, we will do practicals. I'm going to create, like from scratch, I will be creating a new partner account so you guys can see how was it created, how you can add your clients, what are the different parameters you need to think about, and then how you can connect them with your software, what is profile restriction, the user access, and all that stuff. I'll be covering that all. All right, so without further ado, let's start. So let's jump into the first session. So what is HQ dashboard and who is it for? So essentially it's a multi-purpose dashboard and multiple people can use it. So if I am to here, so what would be, if broadly categorized, what would be the 3 groups that will have the HQ dashboard very useful for them? The first one is, of course, bookkeepers, because you, as bookkeepers, you deal with a lot of clients, and a lot of documents are flowing in and out every day. Some might come on email, some might give you an office, and then they give you physical copies, etc. So there is a lot of documents, quite a few clients. It becomes really difficult to manage all that if you don't have an automation or if you don't have a software. EzzyBills helps you there tremendously. So what is it there for bookkeepers? So as you can see on my screen here, single subscription gives you all these things. So it's unlimited users, unlimited clients, unlimited approvers, and unlimited mobile app users. What this means is, you as a bookkeeper, you only need one single EzzyBills subscription. And then you can, once you have our partner account, you can add as many clients in your partner account as you want. And each of your client, they can log in to EzzyBills as well with their own specific user login details. And whenever they log in, since we have this profile restriction, if you give them their login details, which is whatever username you will set for them, whatever password you will set for them, when they log in, they will just see their own data and they're not going to see anything else. And we will do a live demonstration about this in the section 2. When I say unlimited users, unlimited clients, what does it mean? So it simply means, if you have a client who has maybe 20 employees, and then you want to add that client to him, and then all 20 employees of your client wants to use EzzyBills, they can do it parallelly at the same time. And yeah, so that's our first group, bookkeepers. The what group will be the second group? Companies with multi-site or multi-files businesses. So it doesn't matter the size of your business. Even if you're a small business, you're a medium business, it might so happen that you might be running 2 or 3 different small businesses, or more than one sites, or more than one files in your accounting software. Could be MYOB, could be XERO, could be QuickBooks. So in that case as well, when you're dealing with multiple files and you have quite a few invoices, you want them to go to the right file, then the HQ dashboard helps you as well in creating a neat and tidy structure, wherein it's simply visible which file you're exporting the documents to. Each account, since each EzzyBills account is a separate entity, it never gets mixed up. And as you can see here, you can have unlimited approvals, and each like a separate account for each of your entity. Like if you have 3 different restaurant businesses in 3 different cities, or and you're managing it, you can have each EzzyBills account as a separate entity for each of your business. Lastly, the app, the technology consultants. Now, why does it say no cost partner account for technology consultants? It's simply because in our partner HQ account, we also have an option wherein you can just be a partner if you are in that space wherein you are an app integrator, or you are a technology consultant where clients are coming to you for these solutions as to, I want to automate my accounts payables, I have quite a few bills, I want to automate everything, I want to automate approvals, such kind of requests. And when you as a technology consultant suggest them EzzyBills, you can go to EzzyBills because EzzyBills already integrates with QuickBooks, it's integrated with XERO, MYOB, Simpro. We also have our Drive support. So when you refer them, or when you create a partner account and you add those clients as under your account, so that EzzyBills account practically becomes cost-free for you because you are not paying for a subscription. Each of your clients, when they come in, you can add them, they can get the trial. During trial, they also get prior. If you are a EzzyBills partner account and you add a client under your account and he's doing trial, we give him priority support. It's like phone support, email support, account manager. And when the trial is done and they are happy with the product, they can just simply go ahead and buy their own subscription. So in that case, what happens, your HQ account is still there, it's still unaffected. You've maybe 5 clients came to you asking for a solution. You added 5 new accounts. All of them got EzzyBills trial, got the priority support. 2 of them liked the product, and then they went ahead and they bought their own subscription. So you still have access to their data. You still can manage their accounts, and since they have their own subscription, it does not create trouble at all for others. So as if you are a technology consultant, then the EzzyBills practically comes free for you because we do not charge you anything. All right, so these are different user groups can use our HQ account, but let's go straight and let's do a practical and let's create an EzzyBills partner account and then integrate it with some of our Xero files. So now what I'm going to do, I'm on EzzyBills website right now. To create a partner account, you can simply click on this trial button. And when on this screen, instead of creating a new account, you need to click on create a partner account. Then that will bring up a new screen which will say create a partner or HQ account. You need to be sure you're using this option. If you do not see partner HQ in the name, it is not a partner account. It's just a simple single company account, right? So I'll just go ahead and create partner account. One small thing to remember here is since you're creating a partner account, the username is going to be your business name. If you are a consulting firm, if you are a bookkeeping firm, you can simply use your business name. And anything, if you plan to use EzzyBills for yourself as well, you are a bookkeeper and you also use Xero, you want to use your EzzyBills for exporting your bills as well, then you can also do that using your partner account. Anything that you put in your username, EzzyBills uses it to create your upload email address. So if I have a business, I'm a bookkeeper and I have a client, let's say Brisbane Electrical Pty Private Limited. If this is how I put username, the email address that EzzyBills will create for you is simply Brisbane Electrical Pty Ltd at ezzybills.com, which is quite long. So if you keep your username short and sweet, the email address that you get will be even better. So I'm just gonna put Brisbane Electrical, then it will be Brisbane Electrical at ezzybills.com. So I would just put it even shorter, right? Email, it's your simple contact email. Anything with regards to account is going to come onto this email in notification of any issue or any subscription expiry or any PO fail. All the notifications will come. Forgot password, you will need this email for all these things. Just gonna put my name here from Australia and I connect with Xero. A final check. So I am creating a partner account. Yes, it does say a partner account. I've used my username. Everything seems fine. I integrate my account with Xero. So I've selected Xero. Location is Australia, and then you need to put in the text. That's it, done, register. So it took me 2 minutes because I was explaining things while doing it. It really takes 20 seconds or at the max 30 seconds to create an HQ account, right? Now, this is our HQ dashboard. We will dive into each section. So now this is your new account. You can see there are no groups, no account. Brisbane Electrical is my own Brisbane, my own name, right? And I will be connecting this account with the accounting software that I use. For this webinar purposes, I'm going to use Xero. But even if you are on a different software like MYOB or QuickBooks, that should not be a problem. The process for connecting your accounting software to EzzyBills is same for all the software. So now we have created an HQ account. Now, this account, when I want to, so let's say, let's go say I want to add a client account under my account. Now, when it comes to adding accounts, you need to take a few things into consideration. So in my XERO, you can see I have quite a few organizations here, right? So I'm managing this Subway restaurant chain, which has 3 different branches. It's one client. And then I have another client, which is Brisbane Electrical Private Limited. That's a different client altogether, right? Now, when I want to configure EzzyBills, I want to have one account wherein I can also give that login details to my client who handles Subway. So when he logs in, he should be able to see all his Subway branches with just one username and the another account for Brisbane Electrical Private Limited. So if you have multiple files in XERO and you want to put them under one roof, then in EzzyBills, you can create a group, right? Why is that? If it's just one single file in XERO, if it's a small business, one file or in MYOB or QuickBooks, you are better off creating an account for that client of yours. So now let's go ahead and create an account for this one. So how to do it? It's quite simple. We will repeat the same steps that we did for account creation. So in my accounts, I'm going to click create new account and add to the group Bristol Electrical. So I create it and then I'm gonna use everything same. So I can type here. And since you own this account, anything happens to any of your client accounts, I think you should be the one who should be notified. So you can simply put your email address again. You can put one email address for multiple EzzyBills account. It's all right. That does not create any trouble. Again, location is Australia and it's XERO. Register. I've repeated the exact same steps, but this time it was under my HQ account. So now you can see the new account has been created. It says Brisbane Electrical Limited, same here, and it asks you connect to XERO. Let's go back to HQ for a quick recap. Now, as I said here, since this is a single business, it is only dealing in one single file in XERO. I went ahead and I created an account because I know it needs to be just connected with one XERO. It does not have any branches. It does not have multiple files. That's why I chose to create an account for this business. We have created this account. Now, the next step would be whenever you create a new account, before you start uploading any documents, you want that account to be connected with the correct accounting software. So to do that, you will need to go into that account. There are 2 ways from your HQ page you can go into this account. First one is you can select this, and then in here, you will see status for Brisbane Electrical. So it shows you your client's name. You can click connect to Brisbane Electrical here. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is to go back to HQ. I will simply click on HQ, and then I'll show you option number 1. Since I am in my primary group, all the clients that I add here beneath my primary group, I can see them in my drop down. So then what I'm going to do is I'm simply using this drop down. I can select that client that quickly lets me log into that client's account. And now just to cross check, I can see it's Brisbane Electrical. The same shows here. And then now when I am in that client's account, I am going to now do the connection of EzzyBills with client XERO. To do that, it's quite simple. I'm gonna click connect to XERO. It will take me to XERO. It will ask for, if you have multiple organizations, you will see this drop-down box. If you just have one single XERO organization, the name will straight come here, and then you can simply click on continue. Here, since I have multiple, I'm going to select Brisbane Electrical because that's the one I am connecting this EzzyBills account with. Allow access. And again, since I have multiple organizations in XERO, EzzyBills wants to be 100% sure that you are connecting the correct EzzyBills account to your correct file in XERO. So this is the confirmation step number 2, where it asks you again, select company to connect to. Now, if I want to cross-check if I'm in the correct account of EzzyBills, I can do that because in the top right, I see what's my client name. It's Brisbane Electrical, right? It's Brisbane Electrical. So I go here and I see multiple names here because I have multiple businesses in XERO. So I select the correct one and then I click connect. That's it, done. Now you're ready to upload the documents, and any documents you upload here will go straight into your client's XERO. Now you have connected it correctly. If in case, if it so happens that something goes wrong and you think you have connected it to the wrong EzzyBills to your wrong XERO, there is a way to correct that as well. First is we need to check which organization is it. How will you do it? You need to go into client account, click settings, and then here in the organization name, EzzyBills will show you the name of the XERO organization that EzzyBills this particular account is connected to. So it says Brisbane Electrical Private Limited. So on basis of that, you can decide if it's the right connection or the wrong. Now, if you think it's wrong, you can simply disconnect and reconnect. To do that, you can click on the apps. This is where all our features and functions are. Simply click on XERO, and then you have a disconnect button. Click on disconnect, and then simply click on connect again. That should take you back, and then you can repeat the same steps again. If you think the disconnect did not work, if you click disconnect and you think it did not work, simply refresh your page. That's it. And it will show you on your dashboard. It will show you connect to XERO, follow the same steps, and it's connected again. Now, coming back to the next point is that was a single business, right? Now, I have this client who has 3 different branches. One is in Brisbane, one in Darwin, and one in Sydney. And it's all controlled from its head office. So they want one single EzzyBills login wherein they can toggle between all the 3 of their branches. How will I do it in EzzyBills? As I said, in this case, we will use the group structure, because when you want to limit access or when you want to have multiple files in one account, that is exactly when you would use a group method, and then you will give the group login to your client. So I'm on my HQ dashboard and I want to create a group for my Subway client. So what I'm going to do, instead of this, because this is used to create account, it's simple. We will just simply go and use this one. It says add new group to Brazil Electrical, right? I'm going to click on this. And since I am adding this group for my client and I want to give him access, what I'm going to do, I'm going to just type username, let's say Subway sites, right? And then email, I'm just going to use my email. And then whatever password I will set here, that I will note down these 2 things. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, this is the username I'm creating, right? So this is username I'm creating for my client. And then the password that I have typed in here, right? I will note it down here. And then I'm going to select, everything remains the same. Australia, client is using XERO, that's it. So we're adding a new group. This is again a final check. I want to add a group, then I'm going to add individual accounts. So we're adding group at this stage to Brazil Electrical HQ account. Group name is this, password, and I have noted down my username and password, which is this. I click on register. As soon as I click on register, you will see EzzyBills create a group and shows it in your HQ account. Right. So now this group is created. Even this entity also gets an upload email address because all EzzyBills account have this in terms of functionality, all of them can use the same functionality. So if I, and it's also asking me to connect to Xero because I selected that this Subway sites users wants to connect it to Xero. So if I go back to HQ, you can see now I have, this is my primary group, which is HQ, where I'm gonna add all my single file clients. And now this, I have created another group because this client has multiple accounts, multiple files, right? Now we created the group. Now we want to add all these three in that group. So how to do that? Let's go in that group. So now you can see I've simply clicked the group to select the group. Now in accounts, I get quite a few options here. Create new account and add to the group Subway sites. That's option number one. And then it also says add new group to Brissy Electrical. So Brissy Electrical is my HQ, and we don't want to add any more groups at this moment. At this moment, we want to add all these three files in client's account, right? So when I am in Subway Sites group, I'm going to create 3 EzzyBills accounts for him. Let's just go ahead and do it. So I'm going to use this option, which is create new account at the group Subway site. Now in username, so let's say they have Brisbane, Darwin, and Sydney. So I can simply put Subway Sydney. Email remains the same. Location is Australia, and it connects to Xero. Now notice, since I have already noted down the username and password for the group account, I do not need to note it down for this child account. So I'm going to click on register. Now we've created Subway Sydney. We need to repeat this process twice again to create 2 more accounts by going to HQ. So I'm going to go back to HQ, Subway sites. I can see Subway Sydney in this group. I'm going to repeat it 2 more times, the same process to create Darwin and Brisbane. It's exactly the same thing. You click on create new account and add to the group Subway. It's always essential to check which group you're adding this account to. Another side of Subway, you want to add it to the group Subway sites. So simply click here. All right, now I have added 2 of the branches. Now, if I go back to HQ, you should see that group Subway sites, they already have Subway Brisbane and Subway Sydney, correct? And we will repeat the same process that we did to connect the Xero. Now, if I click on here, Subway sites, and click on connect to Subway sites, I'm going to connect to that group. And in the drop down, I can see Subway Brisbane and Sydney. To connect it, I will simply go into Brisbane, connect to Xero, and select the right file from Xero. So this was Brisbane, allow access, and then confirm again, it's the same company. Yes, it is, connect. That's it. Now Subway Brisbane is connected to the right organization in Xero. You're going to repeat the same step for the Sydney one. You come here, you follow the same steps. It's going to be connected to the right file in Xero. Now, if you go back to HQ again, and you can see you have the Subway sites, you have multiple accounts. Why did we go with this structure? Is because when you pass this username, which we used during creating this group, and the password to your client, let's see what will your client see when he logs into EzzyBills. So let's use another browser here. I'm just going to copy paste the username. So now I'm logging in as a client. There we go. So you can see Subway sites. I can see Subway sites. That's my account. And if I click on the drop down as a client, I am able to see both my business sites and I can toggle between them. I can do pretty much everything. Update, like upload the documents, approvals. You get all the features and functions. I can pretty much do everything. And then I can come back to here. That's what we call profile restricting. So you can use groups. You can use groups to have either use it for clients with multiple sites, or if you are a bookkeeper, or even if you are working in a company and you have multiple employees, they look after different clients. If one employee look after 5 different clients, then you can also create the groups, employee names, like you can use employee names as group name and add the respective clients underneath that particular group. What this will do is when that particular employee logs in as just logged in, he's going to see only the clients that have been added into his group. So when he logs in, he knows everything here that belongs to him. So the user access is managed in a efficient manner. Yes, so that is supported. So when I say this is username and password, you can give it to your client. If a client has 10 employees, they all can use the same username and password. We support parallel logins, and they all can parallelly upload the documents and use the account at same time. Same goes for the single account as well. The client account, the single account that we added, if you give this username to your client and then he logs in using the username, let's log in as Brisbane Electrical client. So this is the username. You can see this is the username we use, and that's what I'm using right now. Let's log in. So in here, I cannot see anything other than only my account, correct? And I can give this username as a client. I can give the same username and password to my maybe 3 or 4 or 5 employees. They can use the same and they will see the exact same thing. So all of them can use the account at the same time. So we have a good question here. Will all the accounts under Subway Group show under Brissy Electrical? Right. So I think I did confuse you when I named this as Brissy Electrical. As a bookkeeper, this is my accounts. I assume it's like bookkeeping firm. I am the one who's owning it. And hence, because I am admin, I need to have access to all my clients' data, but none of my clients should be able to access any others' data, right? So as a bookkeeping firm, which is I am admin, you see HU here, that's admin. Admin will always have access to all the groups and all the sub accounts of his account as well as the group's sub accounts because he's admin, correct? And that's how it should be. But when your customers log in, they do not have access to anything else than what you have given them to log into. For this, when this customer logs in, he can only see these 3 accounts. When this client of mine logs in, he will only see data pertaining to that particular account. Yeah, so we saw how you can create a new account under your admin account. We also saw how to create a new group, add new accounts to the group, etc., etc. And if it so happens that you are new to EzzyBills, but it might happen. Some of your clients might have already been using EzzyBills and you just want them to get it mapped under your group. That is also possible. So all you need to do is you can just simply send us an email on support to do that, and we would be happy to do it for you. At the same time, if you mistakenly create another account and you want to get it mapped under your HU, you can always use this option, add existing account. This means there is an existing EzzyBills account which I want to add under my group. That's all it means, correct? And you can do the same for group as well. If you have a group account in EzzyBills and you want to add it under your partner account, you can use this option, add existing group to Brizy. But at any point, if anything goes wrong or it's not working out, you can always send us an email on support, or you can always call to our support line numbers. So we have another good question. What if I don't have access to my customers' Xero account details? That's not a problem at all, because, for example, let's use this one. Subway Sites was my customer and he had 2 or 3 different sites. So when I give him this password, username and password, that means when I'm giving him access details and then he's going to use it, when he logs it into his account, this is how he sees it. It's not connected, right? And if we argue that, just give me one moment. So let's say Brisbane and Sydney, I connected Brisbane, Sydney, this branch is still not connected to Xero, right? Because I don't have access to client Xero. I'm just gonna simply ask him to click on this button and follow the instructions. It's quite simple. It's as simple as like you're logging in into your Facebook. So as soon as he clicks on, once I've given him the details, he logs in into EzzyBills. It's pretty easy for even your client to connect their Xero themselves, because once you click on connect, takes you to your Xero, you only select the right file and then you select OK, that's it. So you can create an account and give the access to your client and they can connect their Xero by themselves as well. Okay, and the way we connected Xero, it's exactly same for the other accounting system, which is QuickBooks or MYOB Account, right? MYOB Essentials, it's exactly same. There's nothing that is different. So it's equally easy and it should not take you more than 30 to 50 seconds to connect your accounting software with your EzzyBills. All right, so let's move on to the next portion, which one of the attendees was asking, where can you see overall list of clients under admin, right? In HQ dashboard, you can see the next option here is my usage. If you click on my usage, it is going to show you all the groups and usernames underneath that group and usage for each of that EzzyBills entity, right? Now I can see I have this group, which has two different uses under it. So it has 2 accounts under this group. And this is my primary account. So most of the accounts that I add single file users will be underneath here. And you can see the usage this month, that is the current month, previous month, last year, and last 2 years. So you can always see that. You can also export this as a CSV file, wherein you will get the usage in a CSV file. And then depending on what you decide to do, if you want to bill your customers, if you want to let them know, it's completely your call. All right. Now, moving on to the next session is, of course, the HQ dashboard global settings. What is it in the global settings? Of course, the first one is you can select quite a few, like at EzzyBills, we try to automate as much stuff as possible, right? So if you want dealing with certain notification, like if you want to receive certain notification, if you don't want to receive certain notifications, you can always come in the settings and manage those. So you can change your email address. If you, for trial, you use your own email address and then you want to use company's email address, you can do that. And here is a brief list of notifications, which says select the notification that you don't want to receive, correct? That means all of these, if anything of this happens, if there is a duplicate detected, EzzyBills is going to send you a notification. If you do not want that, simply tick this one, and then you're gonna click Save HQ Settings, right? So you can go through these, and depending on your business specific requirement, you can either keep them there or keep them not. Most of this would also be, sometimes it would be even irrelevant to you as well. For example, if you are just dragging and dropping documents in your EzzyBills, you will never need to worry about junk email detected notification, because that will never happen. You're simply not using the email upload. Then comes to the next. These are HQ specific settings. So these are partner account specific settings. Restrict my user privileges. What that means is it deals with users. I will come to it in a few moments when I've reached on to user sections. Share my workflows and show disabled accounts. So what does it mean when it says share my workflows and show disabled accounts? Again, workflows is something which support team does for you. Whenever you need a customized workflow or you have certain specific rules requirement, we always encourage you to get in touch with us and we would do it for you. Once we do it for you, then you understand and then you can do it for yourself. So I will not speak about share my workflows because that's really irrelevant. Show disabled accounts. What it means is in HQ, let's say you have in your primary account, you have 20 different clients, and then one of the clients says, oh, I don't want to continue with you, etc., etc., and you don't want to use that account anymore. You can simply select that account and click to disable. That means you don't want to use it anymore, correct? Now that account is disabled, but I am not able to see it here. This is the setting which I can change. So if I go into my settings and I click on show disabled accounts, and then I click save HQ settings, if I refresh my HQ, it will show me which accounts are disabled accounts. They are still there. They're still under your subscription. They're still with you, still have access to them. But just that if you don't want to see them, if it's too many accounts, you can always choose to disable, don't show. If you want to see them, you can always choose to show. That's what the show disabled account does. Restrict my user privileges. Now coming to the last part and a very interesting part, the users. Now, when you have an HQ account, of course you can have, if you have multiple clients and you want to manage them with each employee, so you can have each, like you can have one group for each employee, add respective clients underneath that. That's one way of managing. If you want to restrict access as to the data of these 5 clients or these 5 businesses should not be seen by anyone else than X employee, then you can use the group structure. However, if you are happy with adding your employees to your HQ account, wherein you would say, all right, I only have 3 employees and I trust my employees, so I'm happy even if they access all my account and they're responsible for it, you can simply add users, right? You can, okay, so you can come to users and you can add a user here. So to do that, you can simply click add new user, and then you're going to repeat these steps. Username, email address is going to be your user's email address, password, confirm password. As soon as you add it, you will see that user in the user section here. In the user section in the list, you will see that user. What that means is with his personal login and password, he can log into this HQ account, access all the data except the user's data. So the users, HQ users, cannot add or delete users, and they can do pretty much everything else in all these 3 tabs, right? Now, which circumstances you would do a user if you have set up HQ account with your email and you're not happy sharing your password for your HQ account with your employees, you can simply go ahead and add users. But remember, when you add a user, they get access to all the accounts underneath HQ because these are HQ dashboard users. They are as good as admin users, so they get access to everything. So unless and until you would want to restrict access to certain accounts or certain groups, always follow group structure that ensures access 100%. When somebody logs in with group, he only sees group and its contents. Somebody logs in with account, they only see account and its content. Well, we do have logs in EzzyBills, but if he's trying to use the wrong password, he's simply not going to be able to log in. Then he needs to go with the forgot password option, wherein then EzzyBills will email him the password, and then he can use the new password to log in. And after he logs in, he needs to change his password to a new password, to a correct password. because the password that we send on email is like a temporary password. So you log in and then you change that temporary password to a permanent password. Well, well, don't worry about it. Nobody is, even if somebody's trying to hack into an EzzyBills account, we've been around now 9.5 years. It has never happened once. So even if somebody's trying to do it, they're not going to succeed in that for sure. So you can be, yeah. We already have all that security, so don't worry about it. All right, thank you everyone for coming to the webinar. Thank you for your time. Have a good week.